All right, welcome everyone. I'm Lynette Schaefer, and today I'm going to take you through all the great products that we launched in Q3 of 2023. Believe it or not, we have launched so many products this year, primarily because for those of you who don't know this, we acquired a company called Premise up in Canada, and they had a lot of the same sort of products that we had. So we had to go through and kind of basically do an entire portfolio reset. So we basically looked at the products that Premise had, we looked at the products that EiKO US had, and we decided, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to go to market? And what are we going to do to make sure that we're fulfilling the needs of our contractors, our distributors, and also our end users? So that's the reason why we have had so many great product launches this year. It's been quite the crazy year for sure, but most of those products are now in stock. I encourage you to go to eiko.com and check those out for sure. So with that being said, we're going to dig into all the products that we launched in Q3. So the first one here, this is EiKO's EEBE emergency battery kit. It is compatible with all the fixtures that you see listed here. So like the LHC1, the LH1, those are our brand new linear high bays. We've got the volumetric, the old volumetric, the VOL, the BLP, again, that's our old BLP. We also have the Slim, and we have the BP1, the EP1, the VL1, and let me think if I'm missing any. Anyways, LLHEX, I guess, as well, if we have a few of those yet in stock. Anyways, the idea behind this is if you lose power, you're going to be able to utilize this and have your fixtures provide you power when that power is off. The max wattage, by the way, is 320 watts. Now, if you do plan to use this with one of our linear high bays, for instance, like the LH1, it is recommended that you do use the Z bracket, which is basically just an accessory. You'll find it on the spec sheet. And basically all that bracket does is when you put that on the LH1, it basically allows that battery backup to sit on top of the fixture and have a little bit of breathing room. So that bracket's just kind of nice. It's just an easier way to install it. So you don't absolutely have to use it, but we do recommend it. And then the other thing to kind of keep in mind too, is if you're going to pendant mount the fixture, the LH1, for instance, trying to mount this with that is going to be a little bit difficult. So in that case, you probably can't use the Z bracket. The contractor or the installer is going to have to get a little bit creative, because if you can imagine, that pendant is going to go right down the back of that fixture. And typically this particular product, this EEBE, is going to lay along the back side of that product. All right. Now, this can be used in a lot of applications, as you can imagine, basically anywhere where you're using some of those fixtures I obviously commented on. It is available on 120 and 347, or 120 to 347 volts, as well as 277 to 480. The key features basically include the fact that it's a constant power design, which provides constant light output for that 90 minutes with no fluctuation in light output. That's typically the minimum that you need in most applications, but always check with your local folks to make sure that that is the requirement for your area. Otherwise, 90 minutes is pretty standard. It also comes with a self-diagnostic testing feature, which means it tests automatically for 30 seconds every single month, and every year it tests for 90 minutes. So just to repeat that to make sure I got that right, automatically it tests for 30 seconds monthly and then 90 minutes annually. So it'll tell you if it's not working properly. So that reduces a lot of time walking through the plant or wherever you're at, trying to figure out whether or not your emergency battery backup's working. So it'll give you a little note to tell you that it's not working. Now, this also includes an IP65 rated illuminated test button and also faceplate, which is great if you are placing the test button in a remote area where you need that IP65 location. It's really handy for that. And it also comes, and you can kind of see this in the picture, with a 13-inch metal flex conduit whip as well. Some other things to mention: it does include 3 kV of surge protection. It is 0 to 10 volt dimming, 24-hour recharge time, 40-watt output power. It will operate down from a negative 32 degrees Fahrenheit up to 122. For my friends in Canada, 0 degrees Celsius up to 50 degrees Celsius, if I'm not mistaken. It is UL certified, and it's also RoHS. It is FCC, damp location, except for that test button that is IP65. And of course, the faceplate is too. And of course, it's got 0 to 10 volt dimming, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. And it also meets that Title 20 as well. So that's kind of the idea behind the EEBE. So if you got any questions with that, go ahead and let me know, and we will address those as necessary. All right, next up we have the volumetric troffer, the VL1. I'm actually standing by it right here. This is available in a 1x4, a 2x4, and a 1x4. Of course, the one I'm standing by is a 2x4. We have a number of factory installed options, which include custom cord length, emergency battery backup, and that you can get in an 8, 18, or 40 watts. We can also easily add controls. However, you're going to notice on the next slide when I talk about it, this is controls ready. So it's really super easy to add controls in the field. We can certainly do it through the factory modification if somebody requests it, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually do in the field. But if you need it, we can certainly do it if necessary. As far as accessories go, we do have a recessed mounting kit and a surface mount kit. And you also know that these will work with our flat panels as well. So just so you kind of have an idea that these different recessed mount kits and so forth, they are actually versatile because they can work on a couple of different fixtures. All right, so let me go ahead and dig into a little bit more of the details about this fixture. So as I mentioned, 1x4, 2x2, 2x4, this is used in a lot of different applications. What I kind of like about it is that it does have a little bit more modern appearance, a little bit more flatter appearance, which is different from our previous VOL. This one here is just a little bit nicer design, I think, but it's ideal for a lot of different applications. And also these are available in 120 to 277, 120 to 347. They do offer up to about 140 lumens per watt. There is 3 power set options and also field set. The CCT choices for your field set are 3,500, 4,000, and 5,000. This one, by the way, if you do get it in a field set version, it will ship at 4,000 Kelvin. And as far as the maximum wattage goes, it goes all the way up to 12,600. And that's, of course, the 2x4 version. But 12,600 is quite large amount of lumens, actually, for the fact that it is a, a troffer. So kind of a neat little added bonus. The key features is that all models do feature that field set and power set, but the coolest key feature in my mind is that it is controls ready. So you can do this by utilizing a snap-in sensor. Looks something like this little guy that I have in my hand. What's going to happen is that all the fixtures, well, there's a 1x4, 2x2, or 2x4, you're going to come in here, you're going to actually pop this off like so. I usually like to use a little screwdriver. If you've got good fingernails, you can probably get it done by that too. You're going to pull this out. It is going to allow you to grab this little wire that's in here. This little cap you won't need anymore. Then you're going to take your push button, either standalone or network lighting control solution. You're going to plug it in. Once you plug it in, you're going to stick it back through the hole, and then you're done. No special wiring, no anything like that. And anybody can do that. You don't have to be an electrician to make that happen. So it's really a cool, simple design. And again, that is what we refer to as a snap-in control solution. So this is a little bit better view here in the lower right-hand column, so you can kind of see what that looks like a little bit closer. Again, anyone can pop off the plastic cover. There's these little 12-volt wires that come out, plugs directly into the sensor, making it very easy to add your control solution. And again, you can either do standalone or network lighting controls, which is super cool. Additional features on this guy is that it does have 2.5 kV surge protection included, 0 to 10 volt dimming, white power coated steel housing, non-yellowing PMMA light diffusing acrylic lens. Also, by the way, the volumetric retrofit, which we will be hopefully launching very soon, the retrofit version of this, they do match. So the exact same sort of look, same controls ready, everything. You'll have 2 fixtures. One's actually a new construction and one's a retrofit, which is really cool. As far as ambient operating temperature goes, you're looking at negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit up to 122 F, or negative 40 C to 50 C. And just keep an eye out on this too. If you do plan to use a sensor, you're going to want to probably look at the sensor spec sheet to make sure what the operating temperature is of the sensor. Because just because you got the fixture and it meets the application for the ambient temperature doesn't necessarily mean if you add a sensor that it will still meet that particular situation. Okay. Certifications, like most of our fixtures, include the UL, the FCC, RoHS, IC, ES005 compliant. It is IC rated. It is also damp location. It is DLC standard. I know that that says pending. If it's not, it's probably not pending anymore. It's probably real close to being approved. If it is still pending, it's very close to being approved. It does come with a 5-year warranty. As I mentioned, all models are field set, power set. You've got the dimmability with the controls, and controls ready for networked or standalone controls. Okay. All right. So before I move on to the next section, I've got some questions. Is there an indicator light on the EEB that provides visual confirmation that the unit is operating? There is a little button that comes out, and I can get you a better picture of that, Troy, to show that when there is an error or a problem and it's not working after the automatic test, what that looks like. So when I respond back to everybody with the link, I will give you an exact, clear idea of exactly what that looks like. The EM battery line lists EiKO products on the spec sheet. Is the UL listed affected when the product has specific listings? Ryan, I'm not quite sure following you on your question. Regarding the emergency battery backup, okay, EiKO products on the spec sheet, is the UL listing affected when the product has specific listings? If you add a battery backup, is that what you're asking for? So if you add a battery backup to a fixture, are the UL listings affected? I think that's what you're trying to say. Gosh, I can't imagine that anything would be affected by the fixture itself. I will check with product management on that just to make sure that I am saying the right thing. But, you know, as long as you're not doing anything crazy to that fixture and you're just adding a battery backup, you should be completely fine, because those battery backups are rated for field installed, and it comes with the UL rating. So hopefully that kind of helps that question. But again, I will confirm if you install it outside the listings. If you install it outside the listings. I don't know what you mean by that, but we'll come back to it. So, all right. So I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss these. Again, all of these I will circle back up on. Ryan, I don't know that I totally answered your question, but if you are adding an EEBE to a fixture and you are not doing anything crazy to that fixture, you're just adding the battery backup, all the listings should remain the same. Okay. All right. Any other questions before I move on? All right. So the next one up is our CSX1. That is this guy right here. The 2-foot version is what I'm holding. It is pretty cool because it does feature a lot more fancy things than the CST1. So the CSX1, just think of this as more like the premium one, not premium price point, but just a little bit more options. So for instance, this one here, the CSX1, comes in a 2-foot, a 4-foot, and an 8-foot. All right. So the other one, the CST one, I believe only comes in a 4-foot and 8-foot. This one is also controls ready with the little push-in or snap-in sensor, which is pretty cool, just like I showed you on the volumetric. Factory installed options include multiple cord lengths, cord ends, battery backup, 8-watt, 15 or 20-watt options for the battery backup. Also, by the way, this is on the spec sheet. The battery backup options are only compatible with the 120 to 277 volt version. All right. We do have some options for battery backup for 347, but you need to contact us for those options. We don't actually put them on the spec sheet. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're using the 347 volt version and you want to do a battery backup, contact us for what your battery backup options are for availability. This one here, again, like I mentioned, it is controls ready with the little snap-in solution here at the end. As far as accessories go, the V-hook and a 3.4-foot chain are included. And also there's an alignment plate and 4-foot aircraft cable too. That's also available if you choose to mount the fixture. Now, this strip, of course, is great for a lot of areas, multi-purpose areas, warehouses, distribution centers, you name it. There's a whole bunch of areas that you can put a strip fixture, right? These are available in 120 to 277, 120 to 347. These do go up to about 130 lumens per watt. There are 4 power set options available with field set. Your CCT choices are 3,500, 4,000, and 5,000. Or you also have the option of the fixed CCT that gives you either 4,000 or 5,000. By the way, in case you're wondering, why do we have field set options and why do we have static CCT or fixed CCT? It's mainly because of the price point play. So we have a lot of contractors that just want the lowest price, right? So if that's what you're looking for, most likely the static CCT or the fixed CCT is going to be a little bit less expensive. So that's the reason why we give you both options. It's really about customizing it for the end user. The power set version for this one, it will ship at the highest wattage, and it will also ship at 4,000 Kelvin. So if you order it, in this case, what is it? A 25, 20, 15 watt, it'll ship at 25 watts and 4,000 Kelvin, okay? Key features include a toolless entry, which means all you have to do is squeeze the sides together. Now, you probably remember on the CST one, there's these little buttons. This one here, there's actually a little note that says press here. So what you do is you actually press this in on the side. It's a little bit easier for me to do this when it's setting down. So you can kind of see, you press in on both sides, and then that will open it up. And then you're going to notice inside is where you're going to have your brackets. So this is what it's going to ship with. It's exactly how it ships. I haven't even actually opened this one up yet. So it's going to ship with, I don't have enough room here. It's going to ship with your bracket that you need to be able to surface mount it. It's also going to ship with the little cover plate. So in case you guys are wondering about this, what happens is that if you were to surface mount this fixture, it's fairly narrow of a fixture. And so if you think about it, a regular J-box is going to be bigger around, and then you're going to be able to see some of the J-box. So this little plate will cover up that J-box to make it look a little bit prettier. And that actually ships with the fixture. So kind of a little nice added bonus, shall I say. Let's see. And then also, you know, mounting is made easy because you do have the hooks, the chain kit accessory. If you wanted to suspend mount it, you also have the optional aircraft cable. It also ships with that junction box, as I mentioned. And just like the volumetric that I showed you, the VLR or the VL1, it's got the controls ready. So again, same sort of thing. Come in here, pop that cover plate off, and your little wires are going to come out, and then you can attach whatever you need to attach for your sensor, snap-in sensor, of course. Okay. All right. What else? Some other things worth mentioning is that it does come with a 2.5 kV of surge protection, 0 to 10 volt dimming. You saw the white power coated steel housing. It's got that non-yellowing PMMA light diffusing acrylic lens. Negative 40F to 122F or negative 40 to 50C. And it also has the typical certifications, UL for US and Canada, FCC, RoHS, IES 005. Damp location DLC Premium is currently pending, but I'm sure we're probably just about ready to take that off of there. Comes with 5-year warranty. And of course you get the field set, the power set, the 0 to 10 volt dimming, and you can easily incorporate different control solutions as well. All right, so let me see if I can answer the question that's up next. Is EiKO going to have a commercial strip similar to the CS3 without the snap-in solution at the end? The customer don't like the strips when there are continuous run applications. Totally understand. So the answer to that question, from what I understand, of course, nothing is ever set in stone, but from what I understand, the CST1 is going to be the best choice for you if you want to do continuous row runs without having the sensor on the end. So to answer your question, no, we probably will not have a CS3 or a CS4 coming. Instead, we would recommend you using the CST1. I would say that if you have concerns or issues about that, I'm always willing to listen and send that to the product managers so they can make some good decisions about what they should do. But that is my answer from what I know as of right now. So hopefully that's an okay answer for you. Okay. Anything else? CST1 doesn't come. I know it doesn't come in 347 volts. So what they could potentially do is add another product line for the CST1 that does come in 347 volt, and that will solve your problem. I will definitely take that up. I actually have a number of the Canada folks here with me today, or actually tomorrow and Wednesday in the EiKO. And so I'm sure I will be hearing that live tomorrow and Wednesday. So very glad that you brought it up though. All right. Moving on. So next up, we have our AAL. You can't see it. Maybe I should here. Hold on. I'll do this. There we go. If you can see it way back here, I can't get it too close. But anyways, it's above my head. This is our AAL1. This one here is replacing the vert fixture. If you guys are familiar with the vert, there are 4 sizes available. You basically have your lowest, which is the 180 60 watts. So 60 watts would be the lowest. Of course, that's all power sets. And the highest is at 450 that you see on the upper right-hand side of your screen. Now, believe it or not, we have over 80 SKUs available for this product. So what you see here on my screen is just a very short list. Go out to EiKO.com and go check out the spec sheet. You're going to see all the different SKUs that we have available. Once you open up the spec sheet, you're going to find that there are single CCT models. There are also static wattage as well, like the 150 watt, the 200, the 240, the 300. It just depends on what product you're looking for. As far as field set goes, you have 3 options for CCT, 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000. The lumens will range as low as 8,400 and as high as 63,000. This does come in around 140 lumens per watt. The voltage options are 120 to 277 or 277 to 480 volts. These are also available in a type 2, 3, 4, and 5 distribution. However, the type 2 and the type 4 is available by taking the type 3 or the type 5. And through our fixture modification, we will swap out the lens. So as long as the type 3 or the type 5 is available, what we do is you're going to order the SKU that says type 2 or type 4. What we're going to do is in our factory modification division, we're going to open up that fixture, type 3, type 5, and we're going to go ahead and swap those lenses out for you. Why do we do that? Mainly because we want to make sure that you guys get a good gasket and that everything's sealed, because the second that you have any water or moisture seepage into your fixtures, they are not going to operate the way that you want them to. So we take it upon ourselves to do that. Now that does typically add just a few days on to be able to open up the box, take the T3 or the T5 out and swap out the lens, package back up, and then send it out. But you're not talking about a long delay, assuming that we have the T3 or the T5 in stock. Okay. But that's basically the reason why we do that. Now, speaking of factory installed options, the AAL1 does have 10 kV of surge protection included, but through our factory modification, we can go all the way up to a 20 kV if you want. Also, you're going to see in the next slide that this product is also controls ready. However, if someone wants to add a traditional NEMA twist lock photocell, that has to be done through our factory modification division as well. So not to get ahead of it, and I'll talk about this a little bit more in a second, but basically the fixture is controls ready and it uses that screw-in design. So you can screw in a standalone or a network lighting control solution, and those can be programmed as a photocell. As a matter of fact, the new technology now, those sensors are so smart that they can tell the difference between ambient light and they can tell the difference between daylight. So you would think that you would not be able to put a photocell underneath the fixture where the light's coming out. But nowadays, the technology that's in those sensors, it knows how to distinguish between the two. However, if you don't want to do that and somebody's completely set on having a traditional photocell, through our factory mod, we would have to go in and on the top of that fixture, there's an area that we at the factory can add a receptacle, and that would be a 7-pin receptacle. At that point, then you can go ahead and have the customer add either, a PC 3 or 5 or whatever they want, or I shouldn't say whatever they want, whatever will work with the NEMA 7-pin receptacle, and then they can just add that on top. We can also include that through our factory mod. So basically, if you look at this little list here, if you order the fixture with the dash PC1, you're only going to get the receptacle and a shorting cap. That's it. Okay. The photocell would have to be supplied by a third party. If, for instance, you order the PC2, though, so the part number dash PC2, that's going to give you the receptacle along with a 3-pin NEMA twist lock photocell, 120 to 277 volts. So it's completely up to you. We can supply both, or we can just give you the receptacle. Either way, receptacle has to be done in our fixture modification department. By the way, there are no battery backups for the AAL1, just so you know. And please note, the mounts are sold separately. So if you order the fixture, you're only going to get the fixture. You've got to make sure that you add the correct mount to it. And you've got 4 options. So you've got your traditional slip fitter, which basically slips over a tenon, 2 3/8 inch tenon. And by the way, the fixture's bronze, and all the other accessories are also all bronze. So this is what it looks like. This is what it's going to be, a slip fitter mount. You also have the option for a direct mount that's adjustable. So what you would do is you come in here. Actually, I take that back. This is not, yeah, adjustable direct mount. Yep, this is right. So for a second there, I thought I was wrong here, but you're going to basically, if I can, I have not unscrewed this yet, but what's going to give you the opportunity here is to adjust the fixture now if you want to. So that's the adjustable direct mount. And then you also have the true direct mount, which is this one right here. And this is going to be able to be put on a round or square pole. So that's this one. And then the last one, which I don't have a picture of, or I don't have one with me, is the trunnion mount. This here is a yoke mount. Okay, we decided not to go with a yoke mount because a trunnion mount is more narrow. So if you think about taking this and trying to mount it to a pole, that's going to be very difficult to do because it's so wide. A trunnion mount is much more narrow, so it's going to allow you to mount it to a side of a building or say a pole and be much more versatile. So that's the reason why we have a trunnion mount versus a yoke mount. Just make sure you order one of those with the fixture, otherwise you're going to be disappointed. Also, by the way, if you go to our spec sheet and you're looking for EPA weights, they are all on there. All the measurements, all the stuff that you need. It's like an 8-page spec sheet. It's very detailed. So go out there for all the details on that. Now, let's move into key features. So of course, all the key features can be found on the spec sheet. First of all, it is controls ready. This is the screw-in design. I already spoke about that previously. You can add either network or standalone controls. Either one of those can be programmed to be a photocell, and that's going to happen right underneath the fixture right about here. You're just going to unscrew that, and then it's going to allow you to screw in your receptacle or your control solution. Also, the NEMA 7 pin, that of course can be done in the factory for us, and then you can add your NEMA pin photocell, the NEMA photocell on top if you want. Also, what's kind of cool about this, I'll try to do this. I don't know if I'm going to be tall enough, but it has a hinged toolless design. That means it's really easy access to the junction box, which is nice. So what happens if I can do this? Of course, this is live, so don't laugh at me. But you're going to reach up here. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm tall enough. There we go. I got that one. There we go. So that is exactly the way that's going to work. So that drops down, and then you can easily make your connection, and it just makes it a lot easier without having to have more tools to be able to get in there and do your wiring. The lenses, I already said, could be swapped out for the type 2 or the type 3, or that's sorry, the type 2 or the type 4. So of course, that's always something worth mentioning. Also, the fixture is IP65. It has a 3G rating. Sometimes that's important for some projects. Has an IK08 rating. It also has a UV resistant polycarbonate lens, bronze power coated die cast aluminum housing. It is available in power set, field set, 0 to 10 volt dimming. It is controls ready for standalone controls, network, or also standalone, as well as the fact that it comes with a 5-year warranty. All right. So before I move on to the next slide, are these AAL1 fixtures dark sky compliant? Unfortunately, they are not. The last time I heard is we were going to try to go after getting dark sky compliant, but I don't think that we were successful in that. If that is different, I will certainly email everyone and let you know differently, but I'm pretty sure they're not, unfortunately. Okay. All right, next up are pole adapters. So in case you are going to have a parking garage or something that, or a parking lot or something that you need to have a pole adapter, or you need, brackets of some sort to be able to mount some of these things. We do have a number of PA1s and WB1s. They're just different wall brackets, different pole adapters. You can see they come in different sizes, different shapes, whatever you're looking for. We have them available. But just so you know, just to make sure I'm clear on this, that AAL1 fixture, you need to order the mount on the spec sheet. And then these are all the extra gadgets and accessories that you would actually mount to the pole itself, for that matter, if you need something like that. Okay. That said, do AALs have a bug rating? They have only they do not. They only have that 3G, which is for vibration, the vibration. So unless they just didn't give me a bug rating, I never saw anything about a bug rating. So Blue, I will also respond back to that in case it's any different. Yes, Brett, I know, any plans to introduce side shields for our area lights? So originally we had side shields planned, and I thought it was going to be really awesome, but it turned out that we did a little bit of history and we found that there wasn't a lot of opportunities or a lot of sales on our shields in the past. And so we decided not to. It's kind of funny because I have the shields laying right over here. I actually just put them away in the closet because I'm like, oh, I guess I won't be talking about those. So I always say, you know, maybe make a couple comments to other people and maybe we can bring those in. So unfortunately, we do not have those. Okay. All right. And then I guess I had one more slide for the pole adapters and wall brackets. So this is all on the spec sheet. You guys can go there and take a look at this. This just gives you all your weights. So it gives you all the measurements and all the other stuff. All right. Next up, we have the adjustable wall pack. Many of you are already familiar with this. This isn't really a new, where did I do that? This isn't really a new product by any means. It's just extension, basically. It's I shouldn't even say extension. It's the next phase of the WPA. So this is a WPA 1. This is the adjustable wall pack. I kind of have this one torn apart because it is one that we tend to play with here in the EiKO and dissect a little bit. But you kind of get the idea that you can adjust this about 0 to 90 degrees is what we say. This is a replacement for the WP2 and the WPA. This is also a bronze fixture. I understand that some of the legacy products might have been black. This is going to be bronze. And also it does have a built-in photocell, which you can see right here on the side. Okay. If you don't want to use that photocell, not a big deal. When you're installing it, you can just disconnect it. There's a little wire that just plugs in. You can take it out. This is available in power set and field set only. Both, I believe it's 120 to 277. Yeah, you got, actually, yeah, 120 to 277 and 120 to 347 volt option as well. So why do people like this fixture? Well, it's really versatile. You can actually make it so it kind of bends down or completely shines straight out. It's important to be able to precisely aim light, especially in an outdoor application. And this is what gives you the opportunity to do that all the way from 0 to 90 degrees. As I mentioned, it is available in 120 to 277, 120 to 347. It does go up to 144 lumens per watt. You've got 2 power set options. The smaller version, which is 30, 20, and 12. The larger version, which is 80, 65, and 50. You also get the ability to select your CCT, either 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000. By the way, this one does ship at 5,000 Kelvin. The lumens range all the way from about 1,700 up to about 11,500. And the key features, of course, is the fact that it does have that 0 to 90 degrees. It also has the integrated photocell that I talked about that can be easily disabled in the field. I would say those are probably the 2 biggest features for sure. Also, it has 6 kV of surge protection included, 0 to 10 volt dimming, dim to off driver, 4 half-inch knockouts, which is kind of nice because it gives you a little bit more versatility when you're actually mounting this thing. So to be able to have as many knockouts on basically every single side of the back box is really quite handy. It is EiKO 08 for an impact rating, which is pretty resistant. It does have a polycarbonate lens, bronze power coated die-cast aluminum housing, which I mentioned. And there are no battery backups on this particular fixture. And as far as controls go, you basically get the integrated photocell, which you can disable if you want. Certifications, the UL, the FCC, the RoHS, the IC S005, EiKO 08, IP65, DLC Premium, IP65, 5-year warranty, 0 to 10 volt dimming, power set, and field set. All right, we've got another question. I did see DLC Luna pending on if you said the yes. So yeah, so the DLC Luna was pending. as of like, I think it might have been last Wednesday. I just forgot to upload the slide. Frankie, I should give you points for paying attention to my slides. You know, I put a lot of work into these things. So yeah, we were going after DLC Luna for the AAL1, but I believe it didn't happen. And I don't know if we were going to try to go after it again or do something different, but from what I understand, as of last Wednesday, it is a no-go. But that was a quick discussion. But good eye, good catch. All right. Okay, next up is the PG1 parking garage. Next on my list here. All right, so this is a pretty heavy fixture for how little it is. It's pretty robust, actually. It's a nice compact fixture. There's no doubt about it. It's really great for the parking garages, canopies, covered walkways. I know we kind of call it a parking garage fixture, but it can be used for a lot more than just that. We do have two options to choose from. Basically, the one giving you 45, 35, or 25 watts. That ranges from 35 to about 6,300 lumens. Otherwise, we've got a 90, 75, and 60 watt, which ranges from about 8,400 to 12,600 lumens. This is good all the way up to about 140 lumens per watt, 120 to 347. These are also already DLC premium, and these also ship at the highest wattage and also at 5,000 Kelvin. Of course, through our fixture modification program, you do have some options. We do have an added internal 8-watt battery backup. The 8-watt battery backup is only available through our factory installation. Later in Q4 sometime, we will be introducing a 9-watt battery backup option that can be factory or field installed. But for right now, the 8-watt battery backup has to be done through the factory. So you would order the part number and then do -EB08, for instance. Okay, and that is how you would get a battery backup included in this. Now, this fixture is also controls ready. Let me see if I can get you a screwdriver. This is also controls ready. Just like many of our fixtures, it is a screw-in design. So any of our standalone or network lighting control solutions can easily adapt to this screw-in receptacle. Also, by the way, in case you are going to do a sensor, we all know that sometimes in a parking garage, this fixture is mounted a little bit low, and some people might want to make some, you know, might want to mess with the sensor. So we have this little tamper evident plate that can go right over top of that. And that way your sensor won't go walking off with somebody. So this is a tamper evident little resistant plate that you can put over, cover that you can put over that sensor, helping with that situation if it comes up. All right. This fixture does have 4 half-inch knockouts, one basically on each side of the back or on the side. This one here, these are all 1/2 inch. This one here is bigger. And you know what? I want to say it's 3/4 inch. I'm going to guess that it's a 3/4 inch, but look at the spec sheet. We just added it because some people were asking what the back of this one was. It is, I'm pretty sure it's 3/4 inch, but look at the spec sheet just to confirm. So that one's a little bit bigger than the other ones. It can be mounted with or without junction box, and it also has a hinge door. I didn't unscrew these yet, and I don't know if they're loose enough for me to, maybe. I got lucky with one. Let me see if I can get lucky with the other one. Okay, so I'll show you how this little hinge door works, hopefully. Okay, there we go. So basically what happens is that you can mount the fixture, and then it makes it a lot easier to, you know, have it holding there while you're mounting it and then making your connection. So that's kind of the cool feature behind the hinge door housing. So that. What else? Oh, DLC premium, I mentioned, UL certified, RoHS, FCC, Canada, or CAN ICEF 005, wet location, IK08, field set, power set, IP65, 0 to 10 volt dimming, controls ready for network or standalone controls, and of course that 5-year warranty as well. Can we use the vandal resistant sensor cover with any other fixtures? I don't think so. No. It wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit right. This one here is actually made to have these screws. It'd be really tough, but I love where you're going, Carly, with that. But unfortunately, it's only meant for the parking garage. All right. Moving on. All right, the VP3. These are always hard when they get bigger. But this is the VP3 right here. All right, very familiar with the VP3 if you're familiar with the VP2. See, this is why I start dropping things. All right, so here you go. I'll give you kind of a close-up look so you can get an idea what it looks like, right? So pretty much standard, just like our VP2 was, in case we were familiar with that one. I'm going to set it down because you guys all know I like to talk with my hands. All right, so available on a 2 foot, 4 foot, and 8 foot. All models come power set. The ability to select your wattage, of course, that means. They do have some fixed CCT options, which you can see here on the available SKUs that are listed on the slide. The field set option gives you 3,500, 4,000, or 5,000 K to choose from. These do ship at the highest wattage and also 4,000 Kelvin. All of them do come in about 140 lumens per watt. They are available in 120 to 347 volts. And once approved, these will be DLC standard, and they could potentially be approved already. We've been a little behind. The PM's been a little behind getting me some of that information. So we'll get that soon for you. Now, as you look at the spec sheet, you're going to see that we do offer some factory installed options. You've got your custom cord length. You also have, by the way, in case you guys didn't know this, when we say custom cord length, we can also do SO cord, or we can just do your typical, plastic, or we can also do, we can do SO cord, or we can do flex cable. That's what I wanted to say. So you do have the option. It's not that you just have to do like a regular plastic SO cord. We can do the flex cable as well. You also have different cord lengths that are available. We do have an 8-watt internal battery backup, 100 to 347 volts. This is the only battery backup available, and it is only factory installed. Additionally, we can add a standalone behind the lens microwave sensor. So this is another sensor, in case you're not familiar with, that we launched in Q3. So this little snap-in one, this one here, we also launched in Q3. That gets plugged right directly into any fixture that has a snap-in design. But we also have this little cute guy here, tiny. And this is a behind the lens. Now, this one here does require a little bit of wiring, so it's not as controls ready like what we do with the snap-in or the screw-in design. This one here takes a little bit of wiring because you have these 3 wires that need to be connected. But the way this works is we call this a behind the lens sensor. All right, so what happens is that when you get the fixture, if you want to put this little behind the lens sensor in, what you're going to do is when you buy the fixture, the back of the, look how easy this is going to be. Okay. There is a little spot. All right. So this is the lens right here. Okay. The back of the lens, there is a little silver spot right here. This little plate. You're going to unscrew that plate, and this little thing is going to stick right underneath there. And that is why we call it a behind the lens sensor. How clever, all right? But you do need to be an electrician to install that. And this only is available today as a microwave standalone solution, okay? All right, hopefully I didn't totally kill that. And then as far as, let's see, I already talked about the battery backup. So this one here, again, we can install this in the field or in the factory if you want, this little behind the lens sensor, or you can do it in the field too. It really doesn't matter, but we're happy to do it. If you do want us to do it, it's just the part number with -M11, okay? Now, as far as key features go, some of these things I've already talked about. The push and behind the lens sensor, of course, again, only microwave, only standalone. And then we also have the fact that this fixture does come with a V-hook, surface mount clips, as well as a cable gland for sealing. I had this somewhere. So in case you guys want to know what a cable gland is for sealing, it is this guy right here. Okay, this is what this looks like. That's that, right? And then you also have your little V-hooks here if you want. And we also have the other little clips. So you get a little package of all kinds of goodies in this one, okay? This is IP66, by the way. It is also a NEMA 4X. And as you saw when I held it up, it does have stainless steel clips. It is DLC standard, or it will be DLC standard, UL, FCC, RoHS, IES 005, IP66, NEMA 4X, power set, field set, IK10 rating, 0 to 10 volt dimming, and you also have that behind the lens sensor with a standalone solution. Okay, questions with that? By the way, we're getting down to the end, thankfully, because my voice is getting tired. All right, All right, next one. This is a kind of cool product. I just installed this in my house. As a matter of fact, if you guys are on LinkedIn, I just posted the LS3 video that I did. It is an under cabinet / cove light / whatever you want to kind of do sort of fixture. It's pretty neat, actually. So this is very tiny. This is about the size of a T5. So this is my T5 lamp right here. And this is this guy. So you can imagine how small it is. All right. This does come in 4 different lengths. You basically have a 10-inch, a 14-inch, 23, 35, and 47. The 10-inch and 14-inch are static wattage, but they do have the selectability for CCT. You actually get 5 CCT choices. So 2700, 3000, 35, 4000, and 5000. The lumens do range as low as about 330 all the way up to 1980. You know, it's not super efficient, but people that are using this aren't probably going after major efficiency. You're coming in about 110 lumens per watt. The power set model ships at the highest wattage, and the CCT selectable ships at 5000 Kelvin. You do need to make sure that you order a power supply for this. So if you just order the fixture, you're only going to get this, and it will not work for you. You have to make sure that you order either the power cable, which is this guy right here. I think it's like 72 inches long. And in that case, you just plug it in to one of the ends, all right, and you make your connection. I'll talk more about that in a second. Or you have to order one of the 2 junction box. In that case, you're going to bring hardwire power in, and then you're going to connect. All right, that's the way that would work. You've got options depending upon which one you want to do. Completely up to you. You can link up to 360 watts together if you're not dimming the fixture. If you are dimming the fixture, you can connect up to 120 watts. And of course, that would be through a triac dimmer. Now, these do come with a double-ended connector to make end-to-end connections super, super easy. So basically what happens is you get another little bag of goodies. And this one comes with some mounting brackets, as well as this little thing right here. And this is what you're going to plug into the end of the fixture. And this is what's going to give you your continuous row to row, end to end. Oops, sorry, this is the other side. If I take this little thing out, it'll be butted up completely next to each other, just like that. There's no space between them. Okay, that's the way that's going to work. We also make different jumper cables. I had one around here somewhere. Don't know where it's at right now, but anyways, probably on the floor somewhere. Here it is. Yes. All right, so there are different jumper cables in case you need to jumper from one to the other. This is available in, I'll show you on the next slide because I don't remember, 6-inch and 12-inch, I think, but this is also something that you can do as well. All right, so you can see here, this is the video that I just got done doing. At the end of this video, you'll actually see my above the cabinet light all lit up. It'll also tell you what products I use, so check it out there for sure. But when you look at the accessories, again, you've got the options. You have to order one of these 3 in order to get the fixture to work. So don't forget that. And then the rest of the accessories are completely up to you. We've got some other accessories that allow you to put the fixture and mount it like at a 90-degree angle if you want. Again, I encourage you guys to go check out LinkedIn, find the video I posted and repost it for me, please. Let's share it and get a bunch of people interested in checking it out. Okay. These are ETL, they're RoHS, they're FCC, they're EiKO 08 impact rating, triac dimmable, as I mentioned, field set, power set, and they come with a 5-year warranty. Okay. And that is the LS3. All right. All right. Next up, we're going to move into some plastic lamps. So there are actually 3 slides that are all very much the same, so I'm not going to continuously repeat myself, but this is a plastic lamp. This is actually a T5 plastic lamp, but our plastic lamps are available in a type A, a type B, or a type A T8, a type B T8, or you also have the option as for a T5 type B as well. All right. Biggest thing to note about plastic lamps is that some of them are super, super efficient. This one here that you're looking at, the LED T8 type A, comes in at 179 lumens per watt. It does have a frosted lens. These are a little bit more robust. They're a little bit more heavier. They do come with a polycarbonate material that offers durability and reduced breakage. It's not that these will never break, but they're going to be very difficult to break. So they do meet the NSF requirements to be a component to an NSF lighting solution. All right, so you can use this in another NSF fixture, shall I say. Now, these are DLC standard, UL, FCC, damp location, and they also come with a 5-year warranty. I would check the spec sheet though, guys. If you're going to put this in an enclosed fixture, check out the spec sheet and find out what the ambient operating temperature is, because you don't want to put this in an entirely enclosed fixture and then have issues with heat. All right, so that is the T8 Type A LED. The Type B LED T8, the biggest things to note about this, which you're going to see in the images on the right-hand side of your slide, lots of different base sizes and also different size lengths as well. So this one here, the Type B LED T8, you've got 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 8 foot, all plastic, 1200 to 5500 lumens as far as output goes. The thing I want to mention on this one is that if you are going to go with an 8 foot, you want to make sure that you use the little brackets that are provided with the fixture. So in the middle, these can get kind of heavy if you're using the 8 foot version, because they are, you know, spanning 8 foot and they are heavy. So there's a little bracket that you can put onto the fixture that allows it to kind of clip on. And that way it gives you a little bit more resistance from it coming out of the fixture or having something else happen. So just kind of know that. Otherwise, you got a lot of different base sizes. So if you're looking for a plastic lamp to replace a VHO or VHOO or an HO, we've got you covered from that perspective. And then the last one, similarly, I just mentioned this is the T5 Type B. So, and same thing, 2, 3, and 4 foot are your options on that one. And I think that, oh, and then as far as this one goes, the Type B T5, you do have some compatible emergency battery backup options as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can always check out the spec sheet. The last thing I just want to show you guys real fast is if you go out to EiKO.com, don't forget to, one, check out our promotions that we have. We always do different promotions. Also, what we've done recently is when you go out to the product detail page, and again, the product detail page is basically the page that gives you all the details about the product, you are going to find that all of your goodies are right here. Spec sheet, install sheet, IES flyer, product file, or product flyer. If there's a video, the video also would be posted here as well. We haven't done that yet for the LS3. We just kind of ran out of time, but that will be posted very soon. But any of these that have any of that stuff. And that, by the way, if you download the product flyer, you're going to find that you can also customize it for you, your company, by coming here and you can type in your name if you want. So pretty nifty, clever thing for you guys. All right, I appreciate all the questions today. I will go ahead and get you out this recording. If you have any questions for me in the meantime, don't hesitate to call. Thank you all so much for logging in, and I hope you enjoyed this today. Bye, everybody.